Scott Bolden is the former D.C. Democratic Party chairman. Always love having Scott on. Scott, we're leaving aside the fact that even in losing a midterm year, we learn about the parties that win that they can't keep the mojo going 2 years later, let's say in a presidential contest. We've seen that a number of times, but that's getting ahead of ourselves here. Is it your sense that Democrats lose the House and the Senate?
Well, I certainly hope they don't lose either. The House is looking more challenging for the Democrats because it is a midterm and there are about 12 seats that the Republicans need. On the Senate side, you use Nevada as an example in your lead-in piece. That's a really interesting close race because all the numbers are in the Republicans' favor. That is, the economy is number one, gas prices are up. Republicans are more excited than one of the polls that I looked at in prep for this piece, more excited than the Democrats are, except one problem. The Democratic nominees, or rather the Democratic incumbents, are still more popular in Nevada than those challenging the Democrats on the Senate race. And so that's why that race is really different. Even abortion is lower on the list of what's important to the voters. And so it is a toss-up, which is why the Dems are bringing out their big guns. I would expect the Republicans to do the same, but in the end, it's about GoTV, to get out the vote. Who's got the better organization? Who's more passionate? And who's going to the polls?
You know, you're very savvy at this political thing, Scott. So if you were to advise fellow Democrats after the election next week, if it goes the way some think it could, and by the way, that could be wrong, as you've often reminded me, what kind of a pep talk would you give them? What would you tell progressives? What would you tell the party hierarchy? How would you get the Clinton message across to pivot?
Well, I think it would be the Biden message, not the Clinton message, but you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting and believing what you believe in, but more importantly, you've got to remind the voters, even today and even post-election, House, Senate, it doesn't matter. You've got to remind the voters of why they should vote for Democrats and independents should vote for Democrats. You've got to tell the story of success, legislative success, whether you feel it right now or not, but you're going to feel it eventually because of these legislative successes. And that's why you ought to stay and work with us and help us lead you into 2024, because we're concerned about the economy and health care and education. And we've got a plan because we're in office. Republicans don't have a plan. They're the party of no. You got to pound away at that message, get a great Democratic nominee in 2024 for president, and then get really organized. What makes Democrats passionate and go to the polls, we ought to be talking about Roe v. Wade. And this is about winning. It's not about being right.
Walk and chew gum at the same time.
Well, you can, and look at this legislation. Look at the president's legislative record.
You outlined it more brilliantly than any Democrat I've heard to say, well, these are the issues we compound, but they're not. And then it's like this meek kind of, yeah, things are really bad with prices and all that, but they're going to get better. Yeah,
well, but because we're working to make them better. You see, you may not feel it. Democrats and Republicans aren't feeling great about the economics or the economic future or financial future of the country, but this is cyclical. We go through hard times. And who do you believe in leadership? Do you believe a Republican or a Democrat like Biden to lead you through it? And he's giving you a legislative record of successes that's going to make your life better. That's what you got to pound away at, whether you feel it or not.